Royal Base made its debut in BT18 with Japan, and even though BT19 has recently dropped, there aren't a lot of lists in Japan that are actually highlighted with this deck. With Western audiences getting this full lineup in the archetype with Special Booster 2.0, what are some major elements to consider about this deck, and why hasn't it had too many tops? Today's video will look at tech elements to incorporate into the deck, to potentially help speed it up along with substitutions. Keep in mind, in no way, shape, or form is this deck profile perfect. For my viewers, I prefer to offer baseline decks to allow them to adjust to their style and preferences. That being said, let's dive right into some card discussion. Royal Base cards specialize in swapping cards in your security for additional benefits. These benefits come from the Digimon you place at the bottom of the security, because while they are revealed face up, your Royal Base Digimon in play get added effects. For example, funbeemon has an on-play effect that allows you to place one Digimon card with the Royal Base trait from your hand face up as your bottom security card. Then you add the top security card to your hand. By doing so, you could potentially slot another funbeemon and give all of your Royal Base trait Digimon in play plus 1000 DP. But another effect you could give would be Blocker from Cannonbeemon's effect. In the grand scheme of things, what are the main Digimon you want to turbo up to, and how can you get there faster? BT18 offers the first boss monster of the archetype in the form of tigervespamon. Luckily, if you Digivolve from any level 5 Digimon with the Royal Base trait, you can make that Digimon's Digivolution cost 3 instead of 4. This Digimon has Piercing and Reboot, but has an on-play when Digivolving effect where for each face-up security card, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. With 3 revealed cards, you could suspend 3 Digimon, and then none of their Digimon can unsuspend until the end of their turn. Additionally, this Digimon has an all-turns effect where when other Digimon are deleted in battle, this Digimon may optionally unsuspend. Meaning if you have even 2 revealed security, this Digimon can potentially clear 2 bodies off of your opponent's board. And considering most of the Royal Baseline gives you extra DP buffs, this creates the potential to delete their Digimon no problem. Now the only problem, of course, is Ace Digimon. And while this was the first boss monster for the archetype, BT19 offered a significantly better one. Queenbeemon has the same Digivolution costs, stats, and special Digivolution costs. However, unlike Piercing and Reboot, which can also potentially convert into a blocker, this Digimon has Alliance. When attacking, once per turn you may play one Royal Base trait Digimon card from your face-up security cards with the play cost reduced by 8. And additionally all turns, when any of your Royal Base trait Digimon would leave the battle area other than in battle, you may place those Digimon face-up as your bottom security cards. Now assuming your opponent board wipes you and you can maintain Queenbeemon, your Royal Base trait Digimon would pile themselves all into the security face-up again. And again, my only qualms with this kind of deck are that in the face of Ace Digimon, what do? Arguably, your best bet is going to be in the forms of the only level 5 Digimon for this archetype with Cannonbeemon and Vespamon. Both of these Digimon give blocker to all of your Royal Base trait Digimon while these cards are revealed in the security. But in terms of controlling the board state, they both have on-play and when Digivolving effects. Meaning with Queenbeemon, you can potentially circumvent the Blast Digivolution by de-Digivolving the appropriate level Digimon, or deleting the Digimon with a specific play cost. Though Vespamon is a lot harder to trigger, unless you have 3 or 4 face-up security cards. Now with the main stage set up, and the support cards for the most part represented, what are some cards outside of the archetype that you could use? Kokuomon X Antibody is the first card for discussion here, mainly because it can on-play, and when Digivolving reveal the top 3 cards of the deck, and add 1 Insectoid or Machine trait Digimon, and then 1 X Antibody to your hand. Considering all the Royal Base trait Digimon are Insectoid in trait, even as a special ruling, this makes them all applicable targets. Likewise, while BT9X Antibody was the first thing I presented here, my real intended target is actually Protoform, because it can do a lot of recycling and add another security back to the top. But whether you choose to run Kokuomon is completely up to you. Starter Deck Terriermon is another card I'd strongly recommend for this deck. While true, this card is the Beast type and your Digivolution cost will be 3 into your level 4 Royal Base trait Digimon, the fact is this Digimon can play your green Tamers with the play cost reduced by 2. Making winr a play cost 1 that might be able to Digivolve in the next level for you for its Digivolution cost. But not only can you utilize winr, there are other green Tamers you could use. Mimi Tachikawa for promoting extra Digimon, or even BT15 Izzy Azumi for the redirect of the attack of your opponent's Digimon into one of your suspended Digimon with the Insectoid trait. But the last out of archetype card is going to be Togemon, because even though again, it's not an Insectoid or Royal Base trait Digimon, it does allow you to play your winrs for free, and your other tamers for a cost of 1 if you're looking at memory fixing. Additionally, if you have a tamer in play, you can further reduce Digivolution costs, going into a level 6 from 3 to 2. 1 if you're also using the protoform at time of Digivolution. Other cards I've seen being floated for Royal Base that I will be running are Koto Demoto, Yuji Messiah, and Cool Boy. Each has its own uses, but ultimately I personally feel leaning into your green tamers is more effective, especially with so many green cards that can play your tamers for a reduced cost, or even free. While Koto Demoto does fix your memory and add a card with X antibody and its traits off the top 4 cards, having the time to play your tamers has become less possible as more and more sets of Digimon are released. Yuji Messiah suffers the same problem, but does assist with extra memory gain and a card draw when you promote. Additionally, because all of your Royal Base cards are black in color, you are able to tuck another Royal Base trait Digimon during the attack. And considering they're all turn effects, you'll still get some benefits as they aren't when attacking effects. Finally, Cool Boy is the contentious of the 3 tamers, and while it is the cheapest, it serves no other purpose other than the potential +1 when you play it, or the +2 if it's hit in security. Any Royal Base trait Digimon and X antibody to hand could be game changing. Still, I prefer the green tamers to any of these. But with these considerations, what is ultimately the deck profile I've started cooking with, and here's where my mind is going. When it comes to eggs, you only have one choice because of funbeemons. If you run Tanemon or anything else, you'll always end up passing turn if you Digivolve into any of these. Puroromon is the only Royal Base trait level 2 at this time, but it does have a convenient effect where at the start of your main phase, by placing one Digimon card with the Royal Base trait in your hand face up as your bottom security card, you add the top security card to your hand. Unfortunately, because the caveat is explicitly Digimon card, you're not able to place Hornet Eraser as the bottom security card. Though this would have honestly been hilarious if you could. Level 3 wise, I ended up with the 2 Kokuomon X antibodies for searching, and opted to not use the Kokuomons at all, because with terriermon I can play my winrs for reduced costs and start digivolving from security. Theoretically, even if your opponent gives you 1 memory, you would at the start of your main promote out terriermon, puroromon tucks to level 4, terriermon plays winr for 1, and then you use winr to digivolve into that level 4. Though admittedly it would cost 3 memory, but you manage to cycle 1 card into security, play a tamer, and evo into a card from your security before tucking back another. Generically, the funbeemons have 2 functions. BT18 allows you to perform the same duties as Puroromon while giving a plus 1000 DP buff as your inheritable, or to all your Digimon while it's face up in the security. While BT19 has all the same functions except for not having an on-play effect, but instead an effect that reduces the Digivolution cost by 1 when you go into a Digimon with the Royal Base trait. Simple and clean. Like the terriermon ratios, I opened the level 4s with Togemon at 2 copies. But keep in mind, you could opt to not run any of these if keeping it purely Royal Base is what you want to do. Waspmon, hilariously, is a Digimon that prevents your opponent's Digimon from attacking players if they have as much or less DP as this Digimon. But forgebeemon has similar effects to Queenbeemon, in which when any of your Royal Base trait Digimon would leave the battle area by effects, you can place this Digimon instead and prevent that Digimon from leaving. While counter to what Queenbeemon actually does, this does serve as a much stronger variation of decoy for the entire archetype. Of course, you're going to max out on the ratios for cannonbeemons and vespamons respectively, as they are the only level 5s currently available to the archetype. And of course you're going to go 2-4 split on the level 6s, with tigervespamon and Queenbeemon respectively. Queenbeemon is definitely the priority for this deck. And although my variant of the deck does not run any level 7s, you could in theory run Deathexmon or even Imperial Dramon Paladin mode Ace if you're looking for a blast target to go into. But for the sake of what I'm attempting to do with this build, I'd rather just keep it semi-pure Royal Base with other Digimon that can assist with tamers. For your options, you maximize consistency with your agility trainings, which can find not only your Digimon, but your tamers as well. In total, this card fails to find 3 cards, which are the X-Antibody protoforms for extra recovery and reducing your Digivolution costs. From your non-royal base lines, it returns you to standard Digivolution costs, while with the main line, it makes them cheaper. But for the Tamers, I felt that 2 Izzy Izumi for memory fixing, and redirects along with the winr at 3 copies, supplements the build for a typical insectoid build. Overall again, this list is by no means perfect, and again it hasn't been tested. I'm speculating how effective some of these BT19 cards will be as they proceed with their current format. What are your thoughts on the Royal Base archetype, and do you think it has a chance to shine in the current format? Or do you think because of the reactiveness of Ace Digimon that it's not as easily to maneuver with? Let me know your thoughts on this deck profile, as tomorrow explores a new series that you don't typically see on a Digimon card game creator channel. This is DIGI-PANDA, logging out.